Welcome back to 4029 News on the Record. A group hoping to expand abortion access in the state can now start collecting signatures to get the proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot this November. Right now, it's illegal to perform an abortion or attempt to perform one at any time unless the mother's life is in danger. There are no exceptions for rape or incest. The amendment would prohibit the state from banning abortion within the first 18 weeks of pregnancy. The proposal includes exemptions for rape, incest, deadly fetal anomalies, and protect the mother's life. We talked to the group behind the Arkansas Abortion Amendment and Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin about the process to get this measure certified. The group Arkansans for Limited Government has been trying to get their proposed ballot measure certified for months. It was originally called Arkansas Reproductive Health Care Amendment, but the Attorney General Tim Griffin rejected that name and ballot title.
So we were faced with a choice. We could either expand the amendment language to include something beyond access to abortion services, and then it would be representative of women's health care in a broader sense, or we could keep the essence of the amendment language the same and just narrow the language of the title. And that's what we chose. We chose the latter. So we chose to retitle it the Arkansas Abortion Amendment, which is very clear for voters. Nobody's going to go into that ballot box and wonder what it is they're voting on.
And after submitting 2 more times, the Attorney General said the ballot measure was legally sound.
The feedback from the Attorney General's office has really helped us get to a place where this language is even clearer and, in our opinion, better than it was when we first started. So we're actually really grateful for their feedback and their help and their expertise because they have shown us that they are acting in good faith, that they really want this language to be in a place that is concise for voters, that's clear for voters, and that's been our goal all along.
I find that sort of civil discussion is extraordinarily productive because if they make the changes, again, whether we agree with them or not, whether I agree personally or not, if they make the changes, I have no choice but to legally approve it.
But the fight isn't over for the group. In order to get the amendment on the ballot, they must collect more than 90,000 signatures from 50 different counties across the state. The deadline to get those signatures and file to get it on the ballot is July 5th. We also asked Dr. Karen Siebold about the group's efforts.
That is not always an easy process, as we've seen in the past with ballot measures in Arkansas. Often these signatures are collected. I believe it's around 90,000 that have to be collected in 50 counties. We've seen that in the past with previous ballot measures where they've collected those signatures, but some of them have been rejected or some of them were duplicated. Whatever the errors were, those ballot measures have been kept off in the past. You're also going to have to keep in mind that these type of ballot measures, these what we might consider culture war ballot measures, gin up a lot of support or opposition. So there are going to be groups that come out in support and a lot of groups that come out to oppose, and that's going to start to educate voters and help them to make up their mind on whether or not they want to support this measure. But certainly it is an interesting measure. It's going to essentially overturn the ban on abortions in the state of Arkansas, something that recently went into effect after the Roe v. Wade decision was overturned. And that's going to have a great impact on women's lives in this state if they are able to overturn that ban.
Like Dr. Siebold said, there are some groups against this ballot measure. Here's what Jerry Cox from the Family Council has to say.
This amendment has way more in it than most people realize. As you read the amendment, it takes us back about 50 years. The legislature has worked really hard to try to regulate abortion here in Arkansas and so forth. We have a very common sense law. And now they're going to come in here with this amendment and just obliterate all of that. In fact, it says the legislature or no elected body can regulate abortion up through around the 20th week of pregnancy. And so that's 5 months almost. And so it takes us back to the bad old days when a 14-year-old and her boyfriend would scrape up some money and go to an abortion clinic, and she'd get an abortion and mom and dad wouldn't even know about it. It takes us back to the bad old days when abortion doctors would just run women through like cattle and not tell them the risk of abortion, not tell them what the procedure was going to be about. They wouldn't tell them anything. The legislature regulated that because it needed to be done, and now this just obliterates all of that.